Hello shop boys out there, it's a brand new week, so you guys know what that means. A new week with lots of new adventures to be had, and I'm going to be taking you guys along on my adventures that I get to this week. It's Monday, a new start to the week, and I've got a few days off work, which meant I was able to have a little bit of a line this morning. I then had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea, fed Bear and Paddy their breakfast, let Bear out in the garden. I then watched a bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and just worked on some illustrations, kind of myself dozing, and just read a bit more of the 5th volume of Heartstopper, and had a cup of tea and some of my custard creams. Tidied up my office and my dogs and dollhouse a little bit, and was playing with Bear out in the garden. And then I sorted my Bluetooth doll out into a new look, and I'll show you guys that. Here's my Bluetooth doll's newest look, starting off with the shoes. She's got these black high heel boots on with laces on. I love the details on the boots. And she's got these netting stockings on. They're just this black sunflower strapped dress with this white striped jumper underneath with these beautiful floral laced bits on the sleeve. And she's got this double chain necklace and this black hat. And this is the whole look. That sunflower dress is so pretty, giving me spring vibes. So excited for spring, it's almost here. I then got myself ready to go off to the garden centre, my happy place. I was going off to Armstrong Garden Centre, so I was having to get the bus. So I made my way off to get the bus, and the bus was already there, which is great, which meant I didn't have to wait too long for the bus to arrive. I got on the bus and was listening to music on my headphones. I was on my way to the garden centre. I then got off and headed down to the garden centre. The main road by the garden centre is always a little bit tricky to cross because there's like 3 different lanes you've got to keep an eye on. I made sure to get to where I could see both, like, all the lanes nice and clearly. Got over and got into the garden centre and was having a lovely look around there. And first of all, I went off to the home section and was having a look around there at some of the prints and some of the mugs and pillows and blankets and bits of furniture and home stuff they have in there. And I got some stats from there that I'll show you guys. I had a really good look around the home section, all the pillows and the blankets and the mugs and little trinkets they had, and all the little like china bits and ceramics and stuff like that. It's so cute. I then got some selfies in front of some of the home displays with lanterns and cute little floral displays, some 10 flowers, and it's so cute in there. Definitely getting ready for springtime now with all the blossoms and flower displays and all cute little home setups. Reminds me of IKEA with all the little home setups, so I was getting lots of selfies in some of those little home setups they had. I then went off to the plant section and I got some plants out from there, and I'll show you guys those. That plant section is huge. I love all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty patterned leaves and the plant pots. I then went off to the flower section in the outside area of the garden centre. I was having a lovely look around there. I was able to get some really pretty coloured flower snaps on there that I'll show you guys. I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps on there with lovely colours on, lots of red, pink and white flowers. They're just so beautiful. Spring is definitely on its way, and I'm loving all the pretty flowers and blossoms out and about. I then went off back to the home section and went off and had a look at the stationery and some of the cute notebooks they had in there, and I was like, nope, you don't need any more notebooks, any more socks, notebooks or mugs, for now anyway. I was looking at some of the cute mugs. There's some really cute flower mugs and glasses, and at the socks and at the plushies, and went off and had a look at the Easter displays they had as it's coming up to Easter, and all the chocolate and the cakes and sweets, and ended up getting 2 lots of sweets from there, and I'll show you guys a clip of those. Got some shrimp and banana from the sweet section from the garden centre. I love shrimp and banana, they're probably my favourite sweets ever. Can't wait to tack into these. Shrimp and banana are probably my favourite type of sweets to get from the garden centre. They're so good. I was then having a look around some more at the garden centre and ended up heading back to the plant section as they had a load of new plant displays that I hadn't seen, and I got some more plants out from there that I'll show you guys. I just love plant and flower photography so much. I find it so therapeutic. I then made my way off to go get the bus back from being at the garden centre, and I was getting the bus back from there off at the bus stop by one of the restaurants just out of town to then meet with Tom, and I was going back to his parents' house to see him and Arva and Nestor for the afternoon. So I got off from the bus stop by the restaurant and waited for Tom to come and pick me up, and then headed down to his family's home and saw his parents and Arva and Nestor. And Nestor went off to see one of our workers, Jan, so she went off to theirs, and me, Arva and Tom and his parents spent the afternoon just playing with Arva, and I had some bacon and cheese patties that Tom had made for me, and they were so delicious with lots of cups of tea. They kept supplying me with lots of cups of tea, and I love a good cup of tea. Get it for my grandpa. My grandpa also loved cups of tea, and I'm sure you guys the bacon baps that I had. I just love bacon so much, and they were so delicious, and I had such a lovely time catching up with Tom, and it's just so lovely having him back to visit. He goes back on Wednesday, so I'm really glad that I was able to see him while he was over to visit, as he had lots of people he was seeing, and it was really sweet that he made the effort to come and see me, and got to see him on Saturday and got to come to his house, and he was telling me about his childhood and showing me the garden and the house, and it was just such a lovely cozy afternoon. I didn't want to leave. It was such a lovely house, and they're just so lovely. They're just such lovely human beings. Just the warmth I felt being in there, and it was just such a great afternoon. And then Tom's dad brought me back, and he brought me back in a sports car. It was a little bit low down, so I was like, oh my god, am I going to be able to get in and out of this car without absolutely wrecking myself? And it was a really fast car. I loved it. I love a good fast car. And before getting dropped back by Tom's dad, I gave Tom a ginormous hug and was like, have a safe journey back and have a lovely rest of your time visiting. And then I got back, and my mum and dad were like, whose car was that on the drive? And I was like, oh yeah, I just got dropped by Tom's dad. I was just telling them all about how the afternoon had been, and it was looking a bit gloomy, and then the sun had come out, and it's been so lovely. And we just sat out in the little courtyard outside of the house chatting away, and yeah, just had such a great afternoon. And then I was listening to a bit of music and just been working on some new illustrations, and I'm sure you guys a clip of one of my new illustrations for you guys. Here's one of my newest illustrations giving French royalty realness. Starting off with these boots, she's got these red high heel boots on, netting stockings, and this massive puffy heart cut dress with a corset and some red bows on the heart cut part of the top of the dress, and these sharp shoulder padded long sleeves and a collar with a brooch and choker necklace, this pom-pom earring, and she's got this massive updo, very French powdered wig vibes with a bow headband on, and this black bit of hair at the front dyed, and then she's got these winged eyeliner and lashes and hearts underneath the eyes, marks, and some red lips. I love the hint of red in this illustration with this red handbag and the nails. She's got a heart ring on, and the red boots and the red bows and the red lip. It's giving me Mary Antoinette vibes, French Regency. I love all the bows and the corset. I then got myself ready to go off to my older sister's house with my younger sister to have a Lego making evening, and my dad dropped me and my younger sister down to my older sister's house, and she had the fire on, and we were listening to a bit of music, had some pizza, and made some Lego. And I brought down this Lego bouquet that my younger brother got me for my birthday a few birthdays ago, and my sisters helped me make that. It was a little bit fiddly, but I got the first 5 out of 10 of the flowers for the bouquet sorted out, and had such a great evening, and we'll show you guys snaps from the evening. such a great evening, and I was chatting to my sisters about seeing Tom and Esther and Arthur this afternoon, and said how I'd managed to get a snap of this robin when in the garden chatting with Tom, and I'm sure you guys that. I love robins so much, they're such pretty birds. And then we were just chilling for a bit. We were going to watch a film, but we ended up not watching a film, and we just listened to some music from In the Heights. And then my older sister dropped me and my younger sister home, and I showed my mum and dad the bouquet of flowers that I've just started making. So there's some roses and some daisies, and they're so pretty. Can't wait to put these on display in my office. And I'm now off to go and watch today's Home and Away in UK6 and finish writing my journal entry for today. I shall see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Tuesday, and I got up after a lie-in. I then had some breakfast, and for my breakfast I had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea. I was then playing with Bear out in the garden, and it was a lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. Spring is definitely on its way, and I cannot wait for the sunnier weather and the blue skies to stay a little bit longer. And I then got 2 mirror selfies for my bedroom mirror, surrounded by my plushies I have by my bedroom mirror, and I'm sure you guys those. I love that little mirror setup I have in my bedroom with my little toadstool and a sunflower and the little pillow with all the mushrooms and toadstools and stuff on. Very whimsical. Love very whimsical things. I then was listening to a bit of music and just worked on some illustrations and colours on the days in. I did some work on my short story that I've been working on. I was reading a bit more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and I had a cup of tea and some of my custard cream biscuits. I was playing with Bear out in the garden with his rope toy, which he loves. And then I got myself ready to go off for a walk, and I went off to have a look around some of the child shops and bumped into Tom, who's in the high street at the pub he used to work at, getting some letters that had been sent there from his old house. So I got to see him before he was leaving tomorrow, gave him a hug, and we both said how lovely it was getting to see each other yesterday, and he's hoping to come back in the summer. I then went off and looked on some other shops, and I went off to the flower shop and I got some flowers that's from there that I'm show you guys. We've always got such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there with such lovely colourful flowers and roses, and I was having a lovely chat with the flower shop keepers in there. I then got some snaps from the plant section, and I'll show you guys those. That plant section is so beautiful with all the succulents and cactuses and the pretty plant pots and all the pretty patterned leaves. I then went off and had a look at some more of the child shops. I went off to one of the cafes and had a hot chocolate from there, and it came with a little Biscoff biscuit, which is so cute. And then I got some mirror selfies from there, and I'll show you guys those. So we've got some really cute mirrors in there. I love the wallpaper and all the pretty lanterns. I then went off to one of my favourite little shops called Swannings that sells art prints, stationery, notebooks, plushies, socks, all things that I love. I was having a lovely chat with the shopkeeper in there and got some snaps from some of the displays. I'm going to show you guys those. That shop is so cosy and they're really friendly in there. Also have lovely chats with them, and they always have such beautiful displays with some really cute things, and I've been able to get some really cute things from there before. I then went off to Jigsaw for my safeguarding course I was doing with Jigsaw, and I got in there, we got it all set up, and I was on a laptop in like a Zoom call kind of thing with 20 other people, and it was from 1 to 4. And one of my work colleagues was actually in the safeguarding course, which I didn't realise. Small world, eh? And it actually went really quickly, and we got through quite a lot of things that we need to get through, and I found it really interesting and learned a load of new things. And then I headed off to Greg's and got myself some lunch. I got myself a cheese and onion bake with an apple juice and a Belgian bun. I then made my way back, and whilst on my way back I was listening to music on my headphones, just listening to a bit of Tears for Fears. I then got home and I had my cheese and onion bake and my Belgian bun, also the cherry toll last, and I had my apple juice on my way back. And my Wednesday Morticia Addams Monster High doll had arrived, and I'll show you guys a clip of that. My Monster High X Wednesday Morticia Addams doll has arrived. She's so stunning. She's got such a beautiful face. I love her long black hair, and she's got these pretty earrings in, and her eye makeup and the lips, and she's got a wing on, and she's got some black nail varnish on, and this beautiful black gown with the word bit underneath the dress, and she's got these really cool shoes on with some really awesome heels on the shoes. And she comes with a stand, and the packaging is so beautiful. I love the background. And then on the side it says Monster High X Wednesday, and then she's got a photo of her on the side here. Then on the back it says some more information about the doll, and I'm so glad to have her in my collection. I've got the other ones, and I now have this one as well. It's such a beautiful doll. I'm so glad she's now in my collection. I've now got all of the other Wednesday dolls so far. And then my mum and dad got back from being out. My dad had taken my mum to a doctor's appointment, and they'd got us McDonald's for tea, and I'll show you guys that. Here is my McDonald's. I've got a French Big Mac meal and a hot apple pie, and I've got Rachel's pop figure. They're doing the Friends Big Mac meals at the moment where you can collect the Friends characters. I now just need to get Joey, and then I'll have all of them. The McDonald's was so delicious, and then we watched Mamma Mia on Netflix. Such a great film. I then got myself ready to go off for some drinks with one of my mates for a catch up. So I then headed off there, and I got there and they were running a little bit late, so I was waiting for them to arrive. I got some mirror selfies from the lounge, and I'll show you guys those. They've got such pretty mirrors and lanterns and prints in that place. My mate then arrived, and we had a lovely catch up, and I had a hot chocolate, and we were chatting for quite a while, and then I made my way back. I then got back and I finished watching my journal entry for today, and then put that away. I then was just listening to a bit of music and reading some more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and I'm now off to go and watch today's Home Away and UK Soaps, and to see you for more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Wednesday, and I got up after a lie-in. I then had some breakfast, and for my breakfast I had some lemon curd toast with a cup of tea. I was then playing with Bear out in the garden with his rope toy, and was just listening to a bit of music, watched a little bit of TV, and just read some more of Heartstopper Volume 5. Worked on some illustrations, coloured some of those in, and just watched some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos and some ceiling videos. And my dad was off fishing, which he does most Wednesdays, so Bear was a little bit restless. He always gets a bit restless when Dad's out fishing, so I was making sure to play with him in the garden and played with his rope toy, which he loves. It was another lovely sunny day of beautiful blue skies, and I got my work shifts for next week. I normally mainly only work weekends now and then have the weekdays off, which is quite nice at the moment. So I've been enjoying having the week off, and I was supposed to be working Mother's Day daytime, and then that shift got taken away because we didn't need as many people on, and I'm now going to be doing one of my other colleagues 11 till 2 shift on Sunday, so it still gives me some hours, and he wanted to have the day off, so I thought you can have my day off and I'll do your 11 till 2, and we're having a Mother's Day roast at 2 o'clock. I'm doing 11 till 2, which means I'll be able to finish and go and meet them for 2 o'clock, so it works out for everybody, so panic averted, and I've still got a good amount of hours, which is nice. I then got myself ready to go off to the garden centre, my happy place. And whilst on my way up to the garden centre, I was listening to music on my headphones. I got some selfies of some beautiful blossoms and flowers, lots of really cute pink and red and yellow blossoms. And then I got into the garden centre and I got some flower stats from the flower section, and I'll show you guys those. They've got lots of beautiful flowers in the garden centre at the moment, lots of blossoms and pretty patterned flowers with lovely colours on. I was having a lovely look around there, all the pretty flowers. I then got some selfies of some of the flowers and blossoms and some of the Bhutan flower like spring displays they had dotted around the garden centre. I was having a lovely walk around there. I then headed into the garden centre and went off to the home section. I was looking at all the mugs and bits of pottery and bits and pieces they had in there, and at some of the stationery, the notebooks. I went to the book section. I was having a look through some of the books, and I went off to the Easter section where they have all the Easter eggs and chocolates and biscuits and cakes, all the sugary goodness, and had a look around there. I then was chatting to one of my mates who works in the garden centre. I was having a lovely catch up with them. I then got a pink rose lemonade, and I love rose lemonade, and it's in such a cute bottle as well. I then saw one of my neighbours who just lives up the road from where I live, so I was having a lovely chat with them. And then I got 2 mirror selfies from these mirrors from the little mirror section in the garden centre, where you can have mirrors out in your gardens, and I'll show you guys those. Those mirrors are so beautiful. The one with the butterflies on and the one with the tree on are just so cute. I then head off to look at the clothes in the clothes shop they have in the garden centre now, and they have some really cool jumpers and t-shirts in there, and so I was having a look at some of those. And then I went off to have a look at the plant section, and they've got a load of new plant displays in there, and they've moved the plant section around a little bit, so I was having a good look around there. I've got some plants that's on there that I'll show you guys. They've always got such great plant displays in there. Always have a lovely time looking around at all the pretty plants, the succulents and cactuses, and the pretty plant pots. Sometimes they have some animal plant pots in there which are so cute. All the pretty patterned leaves. I then got our Mother's Day gift for our mum for Mother's Day, and then I made my way back from there. Whilst on my way back, I was listening to music on my headphones, listening to a bit of Charlie XCX, and was enjoying the sunshine and blue skies. I then stopped off at one stop and got myself a drink for the rest of the walk back, and had some chicken Caesar wraps from there for my lunch. I then continued on with my walk, and I made way up to the high street, and I was hoping to be meeting Tash for a coffee catch up, but she was in town with Jazz getting Mother's Day stuff for their mum, so I wasn't able to meet up with them, hoping they're having a lovely time in town. And then I went off and popped into one of the flower shops and was having a chat with the flower shopkeepers in there, and they had lots of flower bouquets ready for Mother's Day Sunday. I then went off and had a look at one of the child shops and went off to one of the book shops. I love the smell of old books so much, and was looking at some of the Doctor Who books they had in there. Popped into T.G. Jones and was having a look at some of the notebooks. I need to get a new sketchbook from there soon. And I went into Aldi and had a look at the Best Buy section. And then I was just looking at some of the child shops, and I got some key rings from there to put on my bag. I'd only got 2 of the key rings and gone off to have a look on some more shops. And then I ended up going back and getting the broccoli key ring, and I'll show you guys a clip of those key rings I got for my bag. I've got some new key rings for my bag. This one is an egg. It's a fried egg, or it could be a daisy. I'm going with fried egg. And then this broccoli and this turtle with this really cute pattern on. They're so adorable. I just hope I didn't lose them this time. I am always quite heavy-handed, so when I went on walks before I had key rings on that I ended up losing, I'd chuck my bag down and get the selfie or get the flower plants up so I wanted to get on my walk, and forget that I had the key rings on there, so I'd end up losing key rings whilst on my walk. So this time around I'm going to have to be very careful, and I've made sure they're nice and sturdy and they're not going to fall off or go missing. And then I went off to see one of my mates who works in Costa, who I used to work with. I was having a lovely chat with them and got a mirror stuff from there that I'll show you guys. That plant wallpaper is so cute. I'd love to have that in my bedroom. I then looked around some more of the shops, and whilst on my way down the high street, I heard someone say my name and turned around, and it was the lady that helped bus buddy me when I was starting college to help me get independence on the bus. So I was having a lovely chat with them, and it was so lovely to see them, and I thanked them, because without them I would not be as confident as I am now getting the bus. I now go in town on my own as well, go to the mall, and have to get 2 buses to get to the mall nowadays. So thanks to her I am so much more confident, and yeah, it was really nice seeing them. I then stopped off at one of the pubs. I had a Sex on the Beach from there, and I'll show you guys a snap of that. I love a Sex on the Beach and sat and chilled in there, and it started to rain a little bit, so I went in there till the rain had stopped. The weather has been so crazy today. At one point it was super windy, then it went really sunny, and then we had a little bit of rain. We've had a bit of everything today. I was then chatting with one of my mates who works in there. I then got 2 mirror selfies from this golden mirror they have in the pub, and I'll show you guys those. That golden mirror is so beautiful. I then made my way back, and I got back, and Bear was very excited to see me, giving me lots of cuddles and lots of kisses. And my mum had finished off making me this bookmark that I'd ordered, and she'd made one for my younger sister, and she did this one for me to have for my books, and it's got flowers all over it, very me. Thanks for that, mother. And yeah, she is so talented. She got through it really quickly. She did Amy's and then did mine, and she was doing it so fast. And yeah, it's got a little tassel on as well. Can't wait to use this for my books when reading those. And then my dad got back from being at fishing, and Bear was literally doing zoomies. He was so happy to see my dad, and I then was just watching a bit of Escape to the Country, a bit of Martha Brown and Garden Rescue. I had a cup of tea and some biscuits. I just read some more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and I was just working on some illustrations and kind of started dozing. And then my younger brother and his girlfriend came over for tea, and my dad was ordering fish and chips for us to have for our tea, and I was just watching some stuff off record till I finished watching. And then our tea arrived, and I had fish cake and chips, and I'm going to show you guys. This can't be a chippy tea. And my younger brother and his girlfriend stayed for a little bit longer, and they head off home, and I then watched the new episode of Sort Your Life Out with Stacey Solomon. I love that show. It came back last night, so I watched that, and also caught up on RuPaul's Drag Race versus the World. And then I was just working on a bit of my short story, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today. And then I'm going to be watching today's Homework and UK soaps, and to see you with more on the vlog tomorrow. It's now Thursday, and I got up after a lion. I then got showered and changed and had some porridge for my breakfast. I was then just watching a little bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and had some Bear cuddles and played with him with his rope toy. I then ordered me and my younger sister a butter's lunch to collect for 1 o'clock. I was then just reading a bit more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and had a cup of tea and some of my biscuits, and listened to a bit of music, and just worked on some illustrations. I was working on a bit of my short story that I've been working on at the moment. I then tidied up my office and my dolls and doll house, and then my mum went off to go have lunch with my grandma, and I was watching some stuff on Netflix, and then I headed off to go and collect the buddy's lunch. I then made my way back from there, and whilst on the way there and on the way back, I was listening to music on my headphones, and the weather has just been so windy today. I thought I was going to get blown away. I then got back, and I then was just watching some stuff on Netflix and just a bit of music, and then had my buddy's lunch, and I had a coronation chicken baguette. I love coronation chicken so much, and I got a vanilla custard slice, and had that with a cup of tea in my tulip mug, and I'm sure you guys that. The coronation chicken baguette and the vanilla custard slice I had from there was so good. Party's is such a great sandwich place. It's literally just around the corner for me, and they always do such great sandwiches with really good spreads in the sandwiches, and you can have wraps, paninis, sandwiches, and it's just such a great sandwich place. And I then had my cup of tea in my little tulip mug, which I got from Aldi a few years back, and it's such a cute mug, very spring vibes, and I'm looking forward to the sunnier spring weather. This weather is not the one. It's been so dark, so gloomy, so windy. I then was just watching a little bit of Vic of Dibley. I love that show so much, always cracks me up. The jokes are my favourite bit at the end, always love the jokes. I was then just working on some more of my short story that I've been working on, and was listening to a bit of Kylie, a bit of Charlie XCX, a bit of Lady Gaga, and then the weather calmed down a little bit, and I went off for a walk and had to pop to the shops to get some stuff for games like tonight at Jen's, and I got some flash sats on my walk that I'm sure you guys. It was a lovely stroll now that the wind had died down a little bit and wasn't in fear of blowing away, and was able to get some really pretty flower snaps with such lovely colours on, lots of really pretty blossoms, and got a selfie for some of these white blossoms. And I got back and my dad had taken Bear for his walk, and I was just working on some illustrations, colouring some of those in, and watched some episodes of Firebound and Escape to Country and Garden Rescue. And then I was just tidying up my office and my dolls and dollhouse, and was watching some vlogs and TikToks and funny dog and cat videos and sea lion videos, and then did some TikToks and posted those. And my dad and Bear got back from Bear's walk, and I was then just watching Ever After, which is one of my favourite Drew Barrymore films. I know word for word, it's such a great film, and I'm now just going to be working on some more illustrations and probably read a bit more of volume 5 of Heartstopper and have a cup of tea with some more custard creams I got from the shop early on whilst on my walk. I love custard creams so much, and I'm just going to be chilling before going off to games night this evening at Jen's, and just see with a bit more of the vlog when I'm back from that. It's late on into evening now, and I'm back from being at games night at Jen's. I got dropped to games night by my dad, and on the way there I got drinks from the shops for games night, and I got some Sprite and some cherry cola. I got 2 lots of the cherry cola, as it's very popular at games night. And then I got to games night and I was having a good catch up with Jen, and she'd been to Amsterdam, so I was chatting with her about that. And then Tash and Jazz arrived and we started playing some games. We played a game of Monopoly Bid, and then also played this game called Chameleon. And then we had our tea, and for our tea we had some chicken and chips and some coleslaw, and I bloody love coleslaw, it's so good. And we had some rice as well, and then for pudding we had some trifle, and I love trifle so much, it's probably one of my favourite puddings. And I'll show you guys snaps of the food that we had for our tea. The trifle we had was so delicious, and then we were playing some games of Jack in the Box, these online games, and they were so much fun. And then it was the end of games day, and we finished pretty late, and then I got dropped back by Tash, Jazz and their dad. I got in and I've picked a DVD for games night tomorrow morning. We're having a movie morning, and then after that I'm going to be meeting Tash, and we're going to be heading off into town to try out this new dessert place that just opened in Cabot, and I saw a TikTok about that. Jen showed us and it looks so good, and they do French toast, which me and Tash both love, so I'm looking forward to heading there. And also going to go to the flower shop and Spark, just hoping the weather isn't too bad, fingers crossed. It says light rain with chances with some sunshine as well, so it should be fine. I'll take a raincoat just in case. With a little bit of rain dampen my mood, rain on my parade, as they say. And I'm now off to go and finish my journal entry for today, and then watch today's Home and Away and UK soaps, and just see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Friday and it's the end of the week and almost the weekend, and I hope you guys are having a lovely end to your week. I got up early ready to go off to morning group and had some podge for my breakfast. I've been loving my podge at the moment. I was there just watching a little bit of TV, just a bit of music, and had some bear cuddles and was playing with him out in the garden, and it was a lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. I then got dropped to morning group by my mum and had picked a DVD to take to morning group, as we were going to be having a movie morning. And when we got there, we then got the DVDs out that we brought along and had a vote on which one, and did a little bit of a in the bin, put the thing in and pick out which one gets picked. And mine normally doesn't get picked, which I'm okay with. Normally I let the others have their film picked, and we picked mine and we watched Mary Poppins, which I bloody love. I love a bit of Mary Poppins. And then we were trying to find the DVD remote to actually get the DVD on, and we couldn't find the remote anywhere, and it'd fallen down the side of one of the sofas, so we were looking for that for ages. And then we finally got the film on, and we had some popcorn and had the fire going, and it's really cozy, and I'm sure you guys snaps on that. Everyone seemed to really enjoy the film. Everyone was laughing and singing along to the songs. It's just such a classic. We then had a little bit of a break so we could have our coffees and teas and had some biscuits, and I then popped to the bathroom and I got 2 mirror selfies from there. Let me show you guys. The bathroom's so cute. It's beach themed, so it's got fish and starfish on the walls, and then we watched some more of Mary Poppins, and there wasn't going to be enough time to finish watching it today, and I was finishing at 12 and then I was heading off into town with Tash, so I said, don't worry, you can finish watching the film and I'll get the DVD next Friday when I come back for the morning group next week. So they were able to finish it. I then got picked up by my mum and got dropped up the high street to go meet Tash to go into town, and Tash then messaged to say that she had a family thing, so we weren't going to be meeting. But I was like, okay, that's alright, I'll just have a solo trip instead. So I then waited for the bus and headed off into town, and whilst on my way into town I was listening to music on my headphones, and I got into town, and the first thing I did was head off to go and get myself some lunch from McDonald's, and I got myself one of the French Big Mac meals. The Big Mac meal I had was so delicious, and I'd got the Phoebe pot figure when getting the McDonald's, so you could give them to you randomly, and I already have all of them apart from Joey. I needed that last one just to get Joey, so I went up and I was like, excuse me, do you mind if I could hopefully get the Joey one, because I've got all the others. And the lady that helped me last time get the one I needed was like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I was like, thank you so much. She was away for a while and I was like, oh gosh, they're not going to have it, they've obviously not got any more. And she turned up and I got the last Joey pot figure, so I now have the whole set, which is awesome. I then finished off my McDonald's and then went off to the flower shop, and I got some flower and plant sets from there, and I'll show you guys the flower sets I got from there. They have such beautiful bouquets of flowers in there, with lots of roses and sunflowers, which are some of my favourite flowers. And I had lots of bouquets ready for Mother's Day on Sunday. Don't forget Mother's Day on Sunday, get your cards and flowers and gifts whilst you can. And yeah, it's just so lovely in there, and was having a lovely chat with the flower shopkeepers in there. I then got some plant sets from the plant section, and I'll show you guys those. They always have such beautiful plant displays in there. Plants hanging from the ceilings. It's like a little jungle in there. And really beautiful succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned plant pots. They also had some of the flower and plant displays out the front of the flower shop, so I was having a good look at those as well. I then went off and had a look around some of the shops. I went off to Cabot, I went off to Scribbler and to Bookshop and to this game shop and to Mankind and to Marks and Spencer's. I was just having a good look around in some of the shops, and then I went off to Sparks, this awesome arts creative centre where they have lots of independent shops, where they have lots of arts supplies and crafts and clothes, socks, stationery, notebooks, mugs, all things I love. I was having a lovely look around there. I then got some mirror selfies from there. They always have such beautiful mirrors in that place, and I'm sure you guys saw the mirror selfies I got from there. You guys know how much I love a mirror selfie. I then was having a look around there a bit more at the shoe section where you can actually go and make high heels, which me and Tash would definitely go and do. I would love to do that. I love high heels. I can actually run in high heels, and due to tiptoe walking because of my dyspraxia, I am actually better on heels than flats. Who knew? And yeah, so I would love to do that with her. And then as I was about to leave, one of the people who works there complimented my jumper, so I was chatting with them for a little bit. Very sweet of them to say so. And then I went off to Miniso, this awesome shop that sells lots of things from like Harry Potter, Stitch, lots of manga, anime kind of stuff. I was having a lovely look around there. I got 2 mirror selfies from there that I'll show you guys. That mirror that says looking good, and the mirror selfie I got next to that Stitch stuff is so cute. I then ended my time in Bristol by going to R2's and treating myself to a sugary treat, and I got this cherry jam baked roll kind of cake, which was huge. They had cherries and strawberries all over it, and it was just so good, and had that with a chai latte. So cute in there. I also got some snaps of some of the displays they have in there, and I'll show you guys those. It's such a vibe. I then popped to the loo just before leaving and got a mirror selfie from there, and I'll show you guys that. That mirror is so beautiful. That place is such a vibe. I was then having a lovely chat with the workers in there, and they're so lovely. I always have such great chats with them. I then made it off to go and get the bus back, and the bus was taking a while to arrive, so I just sat listening to music on my headphones, enjoying the sunshine and blue skies. We did have a little bit of rain, so I managed to pop in and out of shops to kind of hide from the rain, and then the sun came back out, thankfully. The bus then arrived, and I got the bus back, and I got the bus off at Aldi's bus stop and went off to Aldi and had a look at the Best Buy section and had a look outside the charge shops, and then went off to the card factory to get our grandma her Mother's Day card for me and my siblings, and then went off to get her nail salon gift voucher for her Mother's Day gift, and then I went off to Co-op and got myself a drink for work tomorrow and a drink for Sunday's shift, and then I made my way back, and whilst on my way back I was just listening to a bit of music on my headphones, listening to a bit of Tattoo. I love their song Sacrifice, it's such a great song. And I got back and I then sorted out my office and my dolls and dollhouse a little bit, tidied that up a bit, and have just moved a few things around a little bit, and I'll show you guys a clip of my complete set of the Friends McDonald's pop figures. Here's my complete set of the McDonald's pop figures they've been doing at the moment. I've got Rachel in her Central Perk work uniform, then Chandler with his chicken, and Monica in a uniform, Phoebe with a guitar, Ross with his pet Marcel, and then Joey with the duck, and he was the last one I needed. I then took a photo of them all together and put it on my TikTok using the Friends theme tune and posted that onto my TikTok. So glad I've got the whole set now. I then was just listening to a bit of music and working on some illustrations, kind of sort of dozing, and was watching some vlogs and TikToks and some funny dog and cat videos, and my dad had taken Bear off for his walk. They got back and Bear was very excited to see me doing zoomies, so I was playing with him out in the garden for a little bit. I then had a cup of tea and some of my custard creams that I got the other day. Bloody love custard creams, they are my favourite biscuit at the moment. And I was then just reading a bit more of Heartstopper Volume 5. And then for tea, we had pie with some potatoes and gravy and butter on the potatoes. Pie and potatoes and gravy was so delicious, and I'm now off to go and finish writing my journal entry for today, and then I'm going to be watching today's Home and Away and UK 6, and I've got my uniform ready for work tomorrow, and I'm then just going to be reading more of Heartstopper Volume 5, and you'll see more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Saturday, and I hope you guys are all having a lovely start to your weekend. I got up, showered and changed and got myself ready for work and was doing 10 till 3. I then had some jam toast with a cup of tea for my breakfast, watched a bit of TV and was listening to a bit of music, and was then playing with Bear out in the garden with his favourite rope toy. And then my dad dropped me off to work, and I got to work a little bit early, so before going off into work I popped to the flower shop and got some flowers up from there that I'll show you guys. It was pretty busy in there, with lots of Mother's Day bouquets being made up for Mother's Day the next day, and I was able to get some really pretty flower sets with lots of lovely colourful flowers and roses. I then got some snaps from the plant section and I'll show you guys those. I've always got such beautiful plant displays in the windows with really pretty succulents and cactuses and pretty patterned leaves. I was then having a lovely chat with the flower shop keepers in there. I then got to work and got clocked in and put my bag away and got my drink out to have for work. I had some of that, and it was me and 3 other colleagues on shift. One of my colleagues was on coffee, another one on bar, and me and one of my colleagues were on floor, but my colleague I was on floor with would go on bar if they needed help, if it got quite busy. And it was already quite busy when I got in there. There was lots of people in for breakfast and coffees, so I was wanting lots of food and drinks, clean tables. I was mainly on the floor and was cleaning tables inside as well as outside. It was just a lovely sunny day, so lots of people inside as well as outside. And then we had quite a busy lunch rush, but it would go up and down. It was kind of like waves. So it'd be quiet, then it'd be busy, then it'd be quiet. And then I finished at 3 and I clocked off and got changed to this jumper that I wear right now. And my mum had dropped up some forms that I need my manager to fill out so I can send off my passport, as it got cocked up somehow, so we had to do it all over again, which is fun. So I let my manager know he was working in the kitchen this evening and put those on the desk out in the office, and then headed off and went off to Co-op and got myself lunch from there. And then I made my way back, and once on my way back I called up Tash just to have a chat with her and have a bit of a catch up. And then I was listening to music in my headphones and I got back and got my uniform ready for work tomorrow. I'm doing 11 till 2. I wasn't supposed to be working tomorrow, but one of my colleagues asked if anyone would do their shift, and I was like, yeah, sure. And it works out better because it means that after work at 2, I'll go straight to where I'm going to have a Sunday roast for my Mother's Day meal with my siblings, my mum and my dad and my grandma, and so I'll be meeting them afterwards. And then I got back and I had my lunch from Co-op. I had some chicken and stuffing sandwiches, some of these chicken fridge raiders and a cola. My dad had gone to watch my older brother play rugby, and then he got back and took Bear for a walk, and then he got back from there and I was just working on some illustrations and colour server videos in and watching some vlogs and TikToks. And then for tea we had a takeaway and I had a pizza, and I'll show you guys. The pizza I had for my tea was so delicious. I then first started my journal entry for today, put that away, and I'm now off to go and read more of volume 5 of Heartstopper and have a cup of tea and some of my custard creams, and then I'm going to be watching BGT and just chilling, and we'll see you with more of the vlog tomorrow. It's now Sunday and it's Mothering Sunday. Wishing all the mums out there a lovely Mother's Day. I got up after a little bit of a lie-in as I didn't have work until 11. I was doing 11 till 2, so I was helping out with the lunch rush. So I got up, showered and changed, had some toast and a cup of tea for my breakfast, and then I was just watching a little bit of TV, listened to a bit of music, and was playing with Bear out in the garden. And it was a lovely sunny day with beautiful blue skies. I then ended up knocking over my doll inbox dolls that I have by my bedroom door. So there was like an avalanche of doll boxes everywhere, so I had to quickly sort that out. And then I got dropped to work. I got clocked in and put my bag away and got my drink out to have for work. Had some of that and it was so busy. We had lots of massive bookings in for Mother's Day, so there was a lot of people in. I was mainly on floor and there's 5 of us on, so there's 2 on floor, 2 on bar, 1 on coffee, but it was really well organised. My supervisor had got it down to the T. It was literally so well organised, and once that table had finished, we were straight on it, cleaning it, wiping it down and getting the next people in. So it went very well and it went really quick, and then it calmed down a little bit by like 1ish, so instead of finishing at 2 I was able to finish at 1 o'clock. I then clocked off, got my bag, and I got changed to this jumper in the bathroom that I got in my bag to wear to have for my Mother's Day Sunday roast that we were having in one of the pubs in High Street. They've just started doing carveries and we've heard they're really good, so I was really looking forward to checking that out and having one of those. I then got down to the pub to have the carvery for Mother's Day, and I got there before the others, so I went in and said about the reservation, and then the others arrived. We got shown to our table and went off to get our carveries, and I'm showing you guys the carvery and the pudding that I had from there. It was so delicious, and I had some J2Os and a bit of this peach snap shot, which was so delicious. And then we had some pudding, and I had a sticky toffee pudding with some custard, and then the others got off in their cars and I walked back, had a nice Sunday stroll. On the way back I was listening to music on my headphones and got some flower and blossom snaps, and I'll show you guys those. I don't know if we strolled back, and it had been raining whilst we were having a carvery. Luckily the sun had come back out. I was enjoying the sunshine and blue skies and listening to music on my headphones, and I was able to get some really pretty flower snaps. lots of blossoms out and about. Spring is definitely on its way. I then got home and everybody was back at the house, and we gave our mum and grandma their Mother's Day gifts and cards, and I'd found this photo from one of the baby albums of mine of me and my mum, so I put a post up on social media wishing my mum a happy Mother's Day and show you guys the snap that I found. I actually have not seen that photo ever, so it's really cool finding that photo of me and my mum when I was a baby, and it was so cute what happened. My dad then took Beth for a walk. They then got back, and I'm now off to go and play some games with my siblings, and hope you guys have all had a great week and all have a lovely new week ahead. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I shall see you with a new vlog coming very soon.